Alright, the next story quest is given to us by Catliss. It's called In His Garden, and we are in the Crystarium in Catliss's area where she runs a wide circular shop, kind of open area with various wares and whatnot. Here we go. Mercy, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often liked to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. Okay. Where's that marker? Please and thank you. Okay, there. Take this Ethernet over to the Temenos Rookery and see if that is where we need to go. No, not fucking Harry Potter. And once again, sorry for whatever my mic is picking up from my super loud fucking housemate and his cousin. They have several other rooms to have their conversations in, but of course it's the one adjacent to mine, and they are not quiet, so hooray. We're walking up like several flights of stairs to what is kind of an overlook position. It's overlooking the bridge to the west into Lakeland. But yeah, there's a destination up here. We have a cutscene. We have the bright sky all around us, and that's kind of what we're mostly looking at right now. And as we're looking...
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight.
Says Ardbert, the warrior of darkness before me. An actual warrior.
I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
Unknowingly responsible. My options are, the scenery is worse, I'd rather people knew, or I still can't believe it's coming from me, or it's all such a mess. It's all such a mess. I fucking hate how loud they are. I'm so annoyed. I thought moving in with a 60-year-old man would prevent that shit, but nope.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then.
He's holding out his fist for a fist bump, I believe. Although I can't remember anybody giving fist bumps in this game before now. But when our fists touch, bright light emanates from that point.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence.
So he didn't know, but he had some kind of suspicion that maybe he can still play a role, it seems.
My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours.
Maybe not so minor, my friend. We'll find out.
I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you.
Which might not be much, but might be something.
So, let us be about it, hero.
You look kind of like happily surprised and then determined, staring into his face.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes.
Phil.
But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie.
She can't see Ardbert, and she is in her previous like pixie form, so whatever size that was before. 1/3 of our size, 1/4 of our size total.
Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it. Cut ties with the mortal world? Hide away in the castle? It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place.
She flies a little bit more, closer to town by a few yards at
Our
most.
cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow.
She said cairn or cairn, but it translates to friend in this text. And with the whole ruby eyes, I believe she is talking about the Exarch and how his irises were completely red. Like just flat red.
See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue.
Did you mean to rhyme that one? Screen flashes white. We see the face of the Exarch with the red eyes, smiling at us. We are clenching our fist in anger or anguish or a need
You
for
stand in his garden, dear sapling.
revenge.
Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Watching, waiting, commiserating. She gives a wave and then does this loop-de-loop backflip thing and turns into an orb of light and drifts away. Okay, screen goes dark. My objective was take a moment to feel the wind on your face. Interessante. Alright. Okay, I'll go down the many fucking stairs. I can't mount here. It's bullshit. Let me mount in town, guys. It's not like we're gonna let our chocobos and such leave poop everywhere. So we're in the stable area, and we have to talk to, or we get to talk to Genmai, the orc kind of person that leads us. Oh, I didn't expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. You explain. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I feel there will be no surprising revelations. As any in the city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the crystal tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Oh shit. Alright, I want to go to the Cabinet of Curiosity again, which I can use this Ethernet shard to get to. My throat is not feeling all that great. It could be just your normal like sore throat from post-nasal drip, or it could be kind of feels as not fun as it did when I had COVID the one time, but I do have a test here actually. Maybe I'll do that after this. Here's Morin on top of the upper floor of the library again. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. You explain. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Voberites, fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, but for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, 'twould seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Pretty sure he told me. I can't remember what it is, but he told me. Running back down the tri-level tower to the Ethernet shard to go to the Immoral launch, I believe. Alright, and then we got Dr. Cassard. It's a name that sounds kind of familiar, but I can't remember why. Mercy, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. You explain why you're here. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, then it'd be Captain Lyna, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lyna, she'll be at her usual post at the Ascensor Gate. Which is where we will go next. Which is in Lakeland. So I will go to whatever gate this is via Ethernet. I think it's the only gate going out, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Yep, Tessellation. Alright, we are outside. We can mount up for the first time in a while here. I'm being a baby about it. Just let me mount in the fucking town, guys. I'm not gonna poop. I'm not gonna let my Chocobo or Jazz Wolf or Dragon. Well, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can control a dragon from pooping, but or try. You know. We're heading west and west and west, and then here is Lyna at a wooden kind of pavilion, just shy of like the main outward walls or guard towers. Cutscene. Mercy, I told you I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. She holds out a hand. In the moments before he left to join you in Kalusia, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. Alex shocked. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Vothri loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Mercy, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. You look down, back up, shake your head. She looks down to the right. Forgive me, I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? You explain why we're here. Ah, I see I'm not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. You nod. In his garden is theoretically complete if there's not an after cutscene. But there is not. Okay. So for this video, which might be my last, I'm not sure yet. My throat hurts, something fierce. But the sponsor, non-sponsor is Monk Zero. And I'm exaggerating the something fierce. It's unpleasant, but it's not. It doesn't hurt. It's just scratchy and annoying. Sponsor, non-sponsor is Monk Zero, Monk Fruit Sweetener. I use this for my tea. It is a 1-to-1 substitute for sugar in recipes. It has 0 carbs whatsoever, and it does the job of sweetening exactly like you would think that sugar should or would. It's been great. If you purchase it with the link in my description, I will get a small cut. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you very, very soon for the next one. Bye.